straight wins and face their biggest test of this streak, a contest with the #1 team in the league, the Southern Maryland Senators, only 0-2 against their in-state rivals so far this season. A chance to get one here from First Responders Field. Alongside Ben Gurwitch, I'm Nick Kane. And Ben, we're just moments away from first pitch. We're going to get right into our lineup, starting with the visiting team, the Southern Maryland Senators. Batting first, Cale Vinson, the shortstop. Number 2, Adam Trock, the center fielder. 3-hole, Logan Tribble, the left fielder. Cleanup, Steve Kraus, the first baseman. Batting fifth, it's Carter Groen, the right fielder. 6-hole, it's Chet Bowling, the catcher. 7th spot, Alex Martin, the third baseman. 8-hole, it's Dawson Smale, the designated hitter. And rounding it out, it's Jack Yurt, the second baseman. Ben, to you.
And for the home only Cropdusters, Cade Walter, the sure-handed player playing left field. Will Henson coming off a huge hit yesterday, batting second, and playing second. Zakai Hawkins, who's been one of the best hitters for the Cropdusters, especially of late, is batting third, playing short. Jimmy Kirk, of course, a solid mainstay. DHing and batting fourth. Carter Ritchie back behind the plate and batting fifth. Austin Stalker, the lefty, is playing first and batting sixth. In the final three, Aiden Fry playing third base. You've seen him kind of all over the infield. Coy Swanson eighth and playing right. And it's finished off with Ryan Scott playing center field and batting last.
And we're going to pause for the national anthem. Way to speed through that, Ben.
With the playing of our national anthem. Oh, when you see my dawn to light, oh, so proudly held, and twilight has faded, whose broad side and bright star through the pale rose fire. Oh, the ramparts we walked were so gallantly still, and rock is regular among us, singing, get through the night, and our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
So, Ben, we sped through the starting lineups, did not get a chance to preview who's on the bump. For the Cropdusters, it's Ryan O'Lorn. His 4th start of the season. He's pitched 9 innings, allowed 13 hits and 9 earned runs. He's walked 3, struck out 9. Hasn't been great so far for Olney's right-hander.
Yeah, he hasn't been incredibly consistent. Finding the zone is going to be the first thing for him. We saw in his first outing he really struggled to command the strike zone, and that's step one for him. He's got decent stuff, so but the problem is, command's not all about throwing strikes. It's also about where his strikes are. His fastball, decent velocity, and decent control, decent, movement, but sometimes he's got the ability to miss it in the middle of the zone as well, and that, barrels. It's not a pitch that kind of gets away with that.
You mentioned 2 things. Number 1, location. He's gotten his strike-to-ball ratio up since that first outing. He averages 1.5 strikes for every ball. However, opponents are hitting .333 against Ryan O'Born, partially because of those hanging fastballs that just levitate in the middle of the zone, partially because he's not going to overpower you with velocity. Fastball, mid-80s for Ryan O'Born.
O'Born, not necessarily any real deception with the fastball. What you see is what you're going to get. And, you know, with some of that, command becomes so important. Of course, you know, his fastball has the ability to be successful, but it's about the location. If he's missing down the middle, you know, it's just, you see with some other guys like Zach Sabo and Costello, they have the velocity that he can just kind of worry about throwing strikes. For him, he's got to locate.
He'll have to start locating against the leadoff man, Cale Vincent, rather. Top of the first coming at you. It's Ryan O'Born on the bump, Cale Vincent at the dish. First pitch on this lovely Saturday evening. O'Born misses low and in. Fastball 86. Well below the knees of Vincent. It's 1-0. Aiden Fry creeping in at third. Second pitch back to the four-seamer, misses away. 2 balls, no strikes, nobody out. Leadoff man Vincent at the dish. Batting 143 this summer. First time we've seen the off-speed. Changeup breaks in, called strike.
Gets the off-speed for a strike, like you said. Interesting to see if that'll pitch. That's going to be kind of his get-me-over pitch.
2-1 count. O'Born delivers. Chopper in front of the mound. O'Born comes off. Scoop. And he lays down the tag. Cale Vincent did not run out the ground ball. There's one gone in the top of the first, rather. Interesting. Lack of effort from the leadoff hitter, Cale Vincent. He thought it was a foul ball. Exchanges some words to the umpire. Even the home plate umpire looks confused. Shrugs his shoulders like Michael Jordan in the finals. There's one gone.
Seems like Vincent might be of the belief that it hit him in the box, which is why he didn't run it out. It is one of those plays that seems like sometimes the umpires don't get right, but weird to see him not run it out, of course.
First pitch off speed to Adam Trock, breaks away, 1-0. 1 out in this scoreless contest, top of the first. Ryan O'Born on the bump, he comes set. Off speed breaks in the hand, strike one rather.
So far, that breaking ball is the pitch that he's been throwing for strikes.
O'Born having a hard time locating the fastball. As you said, he goes back to it and ricochets it off the plate. 2 balls and a strike. Adam Trock batting .409 on the season. That leads the Cal Ripken League. 27 hits in 66 at-bats. Not a big walk guy, only 7 balls on bases so far. Ahead in the count, 2-1. Off speed, high and out. Hitters count to Adam Trock, it's 3-1.
He also has 13 stolen bases when he's able to get on base, so something to think about as well.
Hitters count, 3-1 pitch. Four-seamer, outer part of the zone. Count full, 3-2. Yet to see Trock take a hack. O'Born comes set. Skied left side, out of play. Aiden Fry back. Was playing in on the third base side, just as he did against Cale Vincent. Top of the first, 1 gone. 3-2 count. No score here from First Responders Field. Pitch, chopped. Second base, Henson, scoop, throw, in time. 2 gone.
Good job there from O'Born. Did not give in. Threw a 3-2 change, but that was fouled off. Went to the fastball, but he kept on the outside part of the plate. Troke just trying to pull it, and it's a tough pitch to pull. Well done from O'Born to stay vigilant despite the 3-2 count.
Ryan O'Born. He stayed vigilant. He also came back. It's impressive to see from a guy that struggled with location at times. It's Logan Tribble at the dish. First pitch he shows bunt. Fails to lay it down. Bounced right on home plate. Ricocheted back into the knee pad of Carter Ritchie. It's 0-1.
The little bit surprising seeing that from Tribble. The 3-hitter has got a 979 OPS. You know, maybe just taking a look at where Fry was, but you don't really expect that with your 3-hitter with 2 outs, nobody on.
Only 6 stolen bases, so definitely not the fastest guy on the Senators. Breaking ball misses out and low. It's even count, 1-1. O'Born comes set. Motions home. Check swing. Didn't go around. 2-1.
Went to the changeup there as we're seeing consistent use of the curveball and the changeup here. As that's the pitch that he's been, you know, kind of finding the zone with.
2-1. Skied center field. On the run goes Brian Scott. Coy Swanson also there from right. It's Swanson who makes the catch, and the inning is over. Ryan O'Born retires the side in the top of the first. Cropdusters next up in the bottom half of the inning. It's still a scoreless contest here from First Responders Field.
Successful first inning for Ryan O'Born. Throwing enough strikes, throwing them in good locations, not allowing this talented lineup to get anything against him.
For a team that's trying to upset the #1 squad in the league, Ryan O'Born doing his job very well, helping keep his team in it after 1.
That is. And, you know, he's got a good lineup today, both defensively and, you know, at the plate. But, you know, of course, it's great to have Walter in there. We saw him come in as a pinch, as a defensive replacement and make a great catch in the 1 inning he played in Game 2. Of course, he made an unbelievable snag in Game 1. Hawkins has been pretty sure-handed at short. Henson has been very solid at
both Henson and Hawkins have been very good in the middle infield. Aiden Fry moving to third. You could really change him out with RJ Cromartie and be just as good. Cromartie arguably the better fielder out of the two. He's been really smooth from the hot corner since the first few games of the season where he struggled there a little bit. He's really settled in and been a sure-handed guy for the Cropdusters.
And Aiden Fry, it's been a bit of a struggle at second base. And weirdly, sometimes his throws have seemed like too hard. So maybe moving him to third base, make it the throw be more, you know, manageable for the player he has, as you know, as an arm. And his timing's been a little bit off at second base. So third base, it's a just different game, different mental clock. Maybe the fact that he's going to have to be a little sped up will help him.
He also has that weird sidearm delivery from the second base side that makes things a little awkward. Bottom of the first here from First Responders Field. Cade Walter, leadoff man for the Cropdusters. Olney's first time at the dish. First pitch. Called strike. Fastball on the outside part of the plate. It's Logan Bingham on the bump for the Senators. 0-1 pitch. Walter, half swing, goes around. Breaking ball, he's out in front, 0-2.
And we saw Bingham, if I'm not mistaken. He's a big guy, 6'7", 225 pounds.
He looks massive on the mound with the little bump thanks to the extra 18 to 24 inches of elevation that he gets standing 60 feet from home plate. 1-2 count to Cade Walter. And it drills him. Slider broke too far inside. Leadoff man aboard for the Cropdusters. Nobody out in the bottom of the first.
Batting next is second baseman number 25 from VCU.
But doing what he has to do as a leadoff hitter, finding a way on base. And, you know, could have been worse. They take the slider as opposed to the, you know, the extra 10 to 12 miles an hour on the fastball.
82 on the slider. Fastest heater we've seen is 92. That's just through one at bat. Obviously, that can climb. Will Henson stands in. Cade Walter on first. Nobody out in the bottom of the first. Still a scoreless game. Bingham delivers home, off speed. Ricochets off the glove of the catcher. Chet Bowling, 0-1.
And we know about Walter's ability to steal second base. He's done it many times this year. He, of course, has double digit steal base. He has 12.
Off he goes. Nice call, Ben. Henson skies it right side. Foul ball. Walter retreats. We'll do it all over again. You can call it again if you'd like.
You know, with 0-2, certainly a less of an easy pitch to run on, especially Henson, who has to come to the strikeout a couple times. You don't really necessarily want to risk to strike him out, throw him out.
Henson has gone down on strikes 10 times this season. 0-2 pitch. Walter stays. Henson skies it. Right field on the one. Goes Grown. Makes the catch. There's one gone.
And not a terrible swing by Henson. Tried to inside out it, but just got a little bit under it. Didn't get the barrel out.
Trying to get a piece of it. It was 91 right down the middle. Kind of an awkward swing from Henson. Looked like he dipped his hands a little bit. Was inside. He hit it opposite field. Pick off of Walter. He's back. No count to Zakai Hawkins. Bottom of the first. One gone. Scoreless game. 0-0. Weak foul tip from Hawkins.
Seems like
dribbles over to the right side, 0-1.
Walter was thinking about stealing on that pitch, trying to time it up, seeing if he can get a good jump, but he didn't, so he decided against it. But would not be shocked if we see him go on this pitch.
No balls and a strike. Walter holds. Hawkins takes the outside breaking ball. Even count, a ball and a strike. One and one. Walter goes. Hawkins chopper. Shortstop Vincent scoop. He'll throw to first. Throw was a little off. Kraus stayed on the bag. There's two gone. Walter advances to second. Still scoreless in the bottom of the first. Speed of Cade Walter proves effective. Eliminates the double play. Unsure whether or not the Senators would have turned two, especially on a guy like Zakai Hawkins, who can absolutely rip it down the first base line.
Unclear if they would have turned two, but they definitely would have gotten the force out. So now there gets to be a runner in scoring position with 2 outs for a dangerous hitter.
Jimmy Kirk it is. Cleanup man for the Cropdusters. First pitch upstairs. Bainham really shying away from the fastball. We've seen a lot of off speed so far.
Yeah, interesting to see.
Cade Walter, big lead at second. He holds. There's the heater, 89. Paints the upstairs corner. Even count, a ball and a strike.
And he's gotten a lot of strikeouts so far, 10 Ks in 11 innings, and the heater definitely plays a role in that. But sometimes you establish your off-speed early in the game to kind of make them think about the off-speed just to kind of go to the fastball more later.
He goes off-speed once more, Ben. Cropdusters hitters better start thinking about that. 2 balls and a strike. It's been predominantly breaking balls from Logan Bingham. 2 and 1.
But the good thing for them is that he's having some trouble locating it. You kind of can see spin, and you can recognize it's going to be outside.
Kirk, deep drive out to left. On the run, dribble. It's off the wall. Walter scores. Kirk to second base. Cropdusters take a 1-run lead. It's 1-0 only in the bottom of the first.
Jimmy Kirk got a hanging curveball and was all over it. Just willed it to stay fair. Stayed in the yard barely, but also, yeah, and most importantly, stayed in play.
322 feet out to left field, just a few yards short of going over. Carter Ritchie at the dish. First pitch, check swing. Looks like it hit off his hands as opposed to the bat. Little grimace from Richie, 0-1. For Kirk, that's his 10th RBI of the season. Second double. Entered with an OPS of 1,000 exactly today, Ben. Sure to go up after that knock. 0-1 count to Richie. Foul ball straight back, 0-2.
Really clutch hitting to get that early lead. And again, we've just been seeing more and more of that from the Cropdusters. Clutch hitting in big situations, finding ways to come through. 2 out, kind of not much happening, just runner on second. Next thing you know, the Dusters have an early lead.
0-2 to Richie. Bainham delivers off speed well high. He's really struggling to locate the breaking balls. That one a curveball that just slipped out of his hand. 1-2.
And one of those things where sometimes he's able to locate it like he did to Kirk, but it was in the zone, but it was as much of a hanging breaking ball as you'll see. Easy pitch to hit.
1-2. Weak ground ball up the middle. Ewart scoops behind the bag. Richie slides at first. He's safe. Carter Richie, an infield single.
Now batting the first baseman, number 16 from Westchester University.
2 men on with 2 outs. It's Jimmy Kirk at third. Carter Richie at first. Brings up Austin Stalker. And then Stalker, a nearly unanimous vote from the team as to who some of the Cropdusters players would not let date their daughter. They chose Austin Stalker.
You know, it's never the position you want to be in, but I'm not gonna ask him why. But some things are better left, unsaid. You know, he seems like a fun-loving guy. Maybe they'd worry about him being able to, just be in one household too much of the time.
He's a big guy, stands above 6'4", but it also could be because he's batting under 200 after recording a .330 stripe at the collegiate level this year. In a cold streak right now.
Well, I will say, Nick, if that's the parameters, there's a lot of guys on this team that don't think they'd be wanting to date, their daughters.
Jimmy Kirk would be the front runner for the Cropdusters. Off goes Richie at first. Throw down to second, not in time. Carter Richie, a stolen base. Wheels shown off by the catcher. It's his second swipe bag of the season. 2-0 count now to Austin Stalker. 2 men in scoring position with 2 gone.
And what I will say about Stalker, really important at bat, we talked about it yesterday, he was able to take the fastball the other way.
Foul ball straight back. Tried to take it the other way on that swing. It was skied slightly to the left side. Delivered a really nice single, as you said, Ben, right in between the third baseman and shortstop in a late contest against the Braves.
And that's something that the coaches have been trying to preach. Take the ball the other way. Do not get over anxious.
Watches the outside fastball miss. 3-1.
I think it's especially the case for him because the righties love attacking lefties, but especially big lefties on fastballs away, and it's really tough to pull those pitches.
3 balls and a strike. Stalker, outside, 4-seamer, called full count, 3-2. Similar spot as the last pitch. Home plate umpire awards to Bainham. 3-2 Stalker, skies at left field side, out of play.
And again, a fastball away, 3 consecutive fastballs outside. It's frustrating as a left-handed hitter. You want to get one inside so you can turn on it and pull it, but the pitchers are well aware of that, and they're going to keep it outside for you. It's up to the hitters to make the adjustment.
Full count, 2 gone, 2 men in scoring position. Cropdusters already lead 1-0. Called strike 3. Austin Stalker thought he had ball 4. Breaking ball inside, right at the knees. Stalker says some words to the home plate umpire. He's been hearing it from both sides through an inning. But thanks to Jimmy Kirk, Ben, who fits the parameters for dating our daughter, our hypothetical daughter, not together, of course. It's 1-0 Cropdusters after 1.
Big double, and again, Cropdusters have just been doing a better job at, kind of building a fence, as they say, getting one every inning.
Uncharacteristic of Olney, but they've really been jumping out to some early leads. 4 straight games where they've been the first to strike, dating back to that win against the Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts on Wednesday night.
And these have all been home games as well. So it's obviously some good pitching has been a part of it.
Well, interesting case in that Thunderbolts game. It was at First Responders Field, but the Cropdusters were the visiting team.
That they were.
So do with that as you will. I'll tell you what, the fans were not rooting for the quote-unquote home team in that game. Mostly Cropdusters fans in the ballpark, no surprise.
It seems like every game there's been one or two things that have gotten the fans riled up. Hopefully there's something that happens today. And the umpire, already getting on some people's nerves. So we'll see if that trend will continue. Always fun when the crowd's into it. And we got a pretty nice crowd today. Of course, we haven't discussed we got a big event at the game right now.
I'll tell you what, Ben, it's really hard for me to be sitting in this booth when it's pups at the park right now. There's an adoption event going on, and there are puppies. I went and held a puppy. Did you go hold a puppy?
I did.
So cute.
So cute and so impressive. And actually it was hard for me because they were just swamped with people. There was one puppy calling my name that I was able to hold, but all the others, seemed to be a lot of intent to adopt. Obviously pulling through is a lot harder than wanting to, but I think there's going to be some adoptions today.
I went down with Cropdusters pitcher Egan Lowry. We both held a little black lab. It was great. Top of the second, Cropdusters lead 1-0. Ryan O'Born back on the bump. First pitch to Steve Krause. Misses low and away. It's 1-0.
Unfortunately, I think that Ryan O'Born had to start getting ready for his outing before the puppies came out. I think that would have been a nice way to kind of, get some positive affirmations, calm yourself down. I think that would not be a bad pregame ritual at all.
It's, I think, a great pregame ritual. I love how Kirk Herbstreit would always bring Ben on set, and that would be his pregame ritual. Obviously, we can't bring our dogs into the booth for a multitude of reasons. Mainly, they're back home. Some might say positive affirmations.
Some might. Probably not me, but I could see a person that would. And poor Ben was replaced pretty quickly. Kirk did not waste any time.
Did not at all. 1-2 count now to Krause. O'Born delivers. Fastball called. Strike 3. Steve Krause frozen on the 85-mile-an-hour fastball. It's been 4 up, 4 down for the Senators. Brings up Carter Grown. 1-0 contest in the top of the second. Brief pause as Carter Ritchie adjusts his knee pads. O'Born delivers. Off speed inside. Grown had to turn his back slightly to get out of the way. 1-0.
I think there's some Cropdusters, Carter Ritchie and Will Henson come to mind. They get a pitch like that, they're turning into it and getting a free base.
Grown electing to stay at the dish, not wear any ice. He had worn 2 pitches entering tonight. He's got a 2-0 count. O'Born comes set, delivers. Line drive into center field. On the run goes Scott. Lays out, doesn't make the play. It stays in front of him. We've seen the Cropdusters overrun a couple balls and try and dive, and it's skipped right in front of them and bounced to the wall. We saw that last night when Jaden Knight played a little aggressive on a line drive out to left. Scott, fortunate it bounced off his glove on the hop and stayed in front of him. So Grown is on first knock of the evening for the Senators. There's 1 gone, top of the second, 1-0 ball game. O'Born delivers off speed. Foul ball.
We both just got too much to say. It's hard. 2 people that are employed to talk. It's hard to get a word in for each of us. A play that I think Cade Walter, his jumps have been ridiculous, and you can't really teach that. A little bit is just instinct.
Swing and a miss, off speed, 0-2 to Chet Bowling. And for Walter, it seems a lot like intuition, which is really impressive because this is his first time playing in nearly 2 years. He hasn't lost a step. after injuring his knee, tore his ACL. Bounced back, and I can't imagine that he's any faster than he was pre-knee injury. If he's slower, I would love to see how fast he was before.
Seriously.
Off-speed pitch to Chet Bolton is skied straight back, still 0-2.
And like you said, it's an instinct thing. And of course, it's, I think, just as impressive the fact that he didn't lose the speed is that after all that time off, he still has the great reads that you would figure he had previously. It's really impressive.
0-2 pitch, skied center field. On the run goes Scott. Out goes Henson. It's going to be Swanson who takes it from right. All three colliding in shallow right center. 2 gone, still a runner on first here in the top of the second. 1-0 contest. Cropdusters lead.
And sometimes I'm quick to talk about some poor fundamentals that the Cropdusters show, but I've been impressed. Happened last inning on the Swanson catch and as well there. Swanson, it's his ball. He calls him off. Brian Scott, the center fielder, who of course has priorities, understands that the ball was for Swanson and lets him have it. Same thing happened to end the inning in the first.
First pitch fastball, 87, swung through by Alex Martin. 0-1. 87 on the heater from Auburn. Fastest we've seen so far. It's Carter Grown on first. 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back gas. Right past Alex Martin. 0-2.
And it's about that location like we discussed. 87 up in the zone. It's a tough pitch when he's able to locate that high fastball.
When you've got to chase upstairs, it's not easy to connect. 0-2. Grown extends his lead at first. Off he goes. Skied. Foul territory. Stalker drifts, makes the catch, in and over. The Senators tally their first base knock, but nothing more. 1-0 lead for the Cropdusters holds as we head to the bottom of the second.
Ice cold beers and seltzer, as well as the new refreshing Cropduster Orange Crushers.
Really impressive from Auburn. Tasked with a tough team to face, and through 2 innings, he has been pretty much lights out.
And we talked about his struggles with location. He's yet to walk a batter. He's retired 6 of 7. So far, he's really been pounding the zone against a Senators team that can rake it.
That they can. We talked about their success, but hitting-wise, I mean, they average going into the game, their team has a combined 795 OPS and a 400 slug and a near 400 on-base percentage. I mean, that is really, really good numbers. And Auburn has shut them. I mean, that's over 100 OPS points higher than the Dusters. And just impressive how Auburn has been totally in control for these 2 innings.
A couple guys on the diamond that are not typically starters for the Senators. Cale Vincent being one of them. He's at short. So Southern Maryland not initially starting their best 9. The Cropdusters have taken advantage. They're ahead 1-0, but it's unfortunately become a trend then where it seems like the better teams in the league give some of their more inexperienced guys reps against the Cropdusters. We saw it against the Thunderbolts. Pitcher for Silver Spring Tacoma entered with a 0.00 ERA, but it was clearly inflated, only topped out at 79 miles an hour. Cropdusters teed off.
Well, and to that I say, you take what you can get. If teams are gonna underestimate and undervalue and think that the games don't matter, this one it makes a little more sense because it's a non-league. I mean, excuse me, different divisions. But Cropdusters maybe have. People are saying, okay, this is one that I can use some more guys. Say, sure, use guys that are getting less playing time. We're happy to do that, and we're gonna take advantage.
They've taken advantage so far. Bottom of the second, Olney leads 1-0. It's an 0-1 count to Aiden Fry. Second pitch, ground ball, third base, throw. Draw him off the bag. Alex Martin overthrew Steve Krause. Aiden Fry aboard with nobody out.
Batting next to right fielder number 22 from Gaston
Errors
College,
have plagued the Cropdusters several times this year. Right now it's Krause. Or not Krause, rather, Martin, who records the error.
And I think it was fine that Martin made the decision to play it on that bounce. But I think the issue was, though, that he kept backing up on it. I think he stood his ground. By the time he fielded the ball, with the speed of Fry, he's never making that play.
First pitch to Coy Swanson, fastball in on the hands, called strike. Check over on Fry at first, he's safe.
I will say, next time Fry's up to bat, I think that all these infielders will have a bit of a quicker, draw with the speed that they now know of Fry.
They pick him off again. He's back safe once more. 0-1 count to Swanson. Fry has stolen 6 bags this season. Swanson stands in. Off goes Fry. Swanson attacks. Line drive into left base hit. Fry comes up running. Throw to third. In time.
Slide.
Aiden Fry tagged out. Did not slide, Ben. And that's something we've seen for the Cropdusters so many times.
I don't understand. And he stopped, because of the fact that he didn't slide. He overran the base, had to go back. So even if he was safe, there could have been an issue with him getting tagged on the way back. I mean, another situation where a great hit and you have a chance for the huge inning, and just for now, maybe it'll change. This momentum killer.
Here's what I don't understand, Ben. Hard hit ball in the left field. The Cropdusters have been thrown out 3 times entering tonight, trying to go first to third on a ball to left. What is the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results.
There's no doubt.
Adam Leader hasn't learned his lesson.
Leader is no doubt he's an aggressive coach. He likes to take chances on, arms in this league, but eventually enough is enough, because too many times that runners are getting out and just turning huge innings into just ones that you're trying to get one run. I mean, if first and second no outs and you like to bunt, and you bunt with Scott, you get top of the order with second and third, with only 1 out.
There's now 1 on pickoff of Stalker. He's thrown out. Base running gaffes completely plaguing Olney. Unreal. He didn't slide.
Is there did the host parents say, sorry guys, I can't wash your clothes anymore, so they're trying to keep them clean for as long as they can? I mean, slide. It's just classic fundamentals.
I mean, if they need tied, by all means, ask for help. As Scott flies it to right, he's out. And what seemed to be a big inning for the Cropdusters turns into a disaster. 2 base running errors. Austin Stalker thrown out by Chet Bowling after a pitch. He tossed it to Steve Krause at first, and Austin Stalker just didn't slide. And then, of course, Aiden Fry thrown out at third. Unbelievable. Fundamentals. That's what separates the good teams.
Yeah, I don't know what Coy Swanson. I mean, that's inexcusable. He wasn't even taking that big of a lead off first base, and you see, I mean, the success rate of catchers throwing at first base and getting a guy out, I feel like is 1 in sometimes a million in this league. I mean, we've seen it many times. No one has ever been close, and there, all it would take is for Swanson to, get dirty and slide, and there would have been no play at first. But wow, I mean, just really disappointing for consecutive plays. And of course, it makes each one look worse when they're back to back.
The Cropdusters have a tendency to be aggressive, but there's a difference between aggressiveness and bordering on the edge of foolishness.
Yeah, plain foolishness. I mean, no other way to say it.
A chance to jump ahead even more on the Southern Maryland Senators, who enter tonight 12-5 atop the league. Cropdusters spoiled another chance to score a run. Agitating at times for fans, I'm sure.
And frustrating. I mean, undoubtedly, not much more to say. It's just disappointing. Swanson, a veteran, it's just, you wouldn't expect that from him, but here we are.
Well, on the bright side for the Cropdusters, Ryan O'Bourne has been great on the bump through 2. It's the top of the 3rd. Cropdusters lead 1-0. It's Dawson Smale standing in for the Senators to get us started. O'Born collects himself on the mound. He now takes the signal from Richie, comes set. Smale awaits, first pitch. Skied, left field, on the run goes Walter. Drifts back near the warning track, makes the play. One out on one pitch here in the top of the third. Still a 1-0 contest. Cropdusters lead.
O'Born just continuing to attack and getting results. That time first pitch sweeper and swinging in a pretty routine play.
9-hitter Jack Ewart. Aiden Fry creeps in at third. O'Born comes set. He shows bunt, pulls back. Off speed in the dirt, 1-0.
So twice the first time around, one hitter has attempted to, or at least thought about dropping one down.
It was Adam Trock the first time. Swing and a miss. Fastball, upper part of the zone, 1-1. Ryan O'Born really doing a nice job locating that fastball high. He's not the fastest pitcher in velocity, but he's using it effectively, pitching high, making it difficult for these Senators hitters to make contact.
That he is. High fastball will play basically no matter what the velocity is, especially if it's mixed with some really nice off-speed stuff as well.
It's a 2-1 count. O'Born delivers outside. 3-1 in favor of Ewart. One gone in the top of the third. Cropdusters lead 1-0. O'Born, heater right down Broadway, called strike 2. Full count. O'Born just misses away. Diligent from Jack Ewart. He takes first base. One man on with one out, trailing by 1 for the Senators. For Ewart, that's his 8th walk of the season. Top of the order, it's Cale Vinson. First pitch off speed, called strike. Beautiful break on the sweeper.
Really nice pitch, and he's continuing to hit that outside part of the plate with it, which is exactly where you're trying to have it end up. He is not leaving it up. Great use of it so far.
Ewart increases his lead. Off speed once more, that time well outside. Richie slides to make the grab. Even count, a ball and a strike.
And he has missed with a sweeper away a couple times, but again, that's not the end of the world. If you're missing out.
Pickoff ball gets away from Stalker. Ewart will take second. Anything involving the base paths right now, Cropdusters can't seem to get down. Still a 1-1 count with one gone. Ewart now on second. Cale Vinson still at the dish.
But as I was saying, yeah, if you miss the off-speed low and away, you're not going to get hurt that way, as long as it's competitive enough for Richie to make a play on.
Upstairs, four-seamer misses. 2-1. O'Born, check swing. He went around. Cale Vinson chases the curveball in the dirt. 2-2. O'Born heads home. Off speed out. Full count. 3-2, one gone. Cropdusters lead 1-0 in the top of the third. It's Jack Ewart on second base for the Senators. Cale Vinson at the dish. 0 for 1 tonight. Full count. O'Born kicks, delivers, ground ball, shortstop, Hawkins. Pick, throw, in time. 2 gone.
Well done. Stays with the off speed and gets Vincent ahead of it.
Brings him Adam Troche. 0 for 1 tonight. He's got a runner in scoring position. Enter tonight's contest 3rd in the league in RBIs. A chance for one more first pitch breaking ball on the hands, called strike.
That changeup has worked really well, especially against lefties, and it's important. He's got the confidence to throw it at any count. Great way to start a hitter. And if you're looking to swing at the first pitch, that's not one you want.
Pickoff at second. Hawkins takes the lob. It was not a pickoff with a whole lot of intent for Ryan O'Born. 0-1. Adam Troke at the dish. Hawkins creeps behind Ewart at second. Line drive into right is going to fall, base hit. Ewart rounds third. He'll score with ease. Swanson throw to second. Not in time. Henson dives in the outfield to make the cutoff throw. And a 2-out double from Adam Troke evens us up. It's 1 apiece. Senators level the score. Adam Troke increases his RBI count to 14. Still 2 outs. Troke now on second, brings in Logan Tribble.
And you never know, but getting that runner to second base certainly could have played a role. Swanson was able to get that ball in pretty quickly. If the runner is coming from first, unclear if the runner is able to come in to score, but, getting to the second base in the air, easily going to always score in there.
Henson likely, if he was the one to cut it off a similar throw, probably would not have got it. He had to lay out. And when I say lay out, he fully extended in the air. It's a 1-1 count to Logan Tribble. 2 gone. Top of the 3rd. Even ball game. It's 1-1. Chopper, Fry, scoop behind the bag, throw in time. Senators tally 1 to even us. In the score box, bottom of the 3rd coming up.
Hey fans, it's that special time of the night where we say thank you to our Cropdusters sponsors.
It's a great play from Fry, and most likely it's going to be it for O'Born. He'll be frustrated to give up that 2-out RBI, but that is a really strong start, and one that he will really be positive about. That and you can take the success with the sweeper and the changeup, and maybe think about how that can change the way he pitches. If you use your off speed as not necessarily your primary pitch, but just very unafraid to go to it at a pretty high amount, could be the future for Auburn. Back to the top of the order after the weird inning that only resulted in the Cropdusters hitting.
Now batting the left fielder, number 6 from Jacksonville University, Cade Walter.
It's the bottom of the 3rd here from First Responders Field. Even score, 1 apiece. Senators tied it in the top half of the inning. Logan Bainham back on the bump for Southern Maryland. First pitch to Cade Walter, low and out, off speed miss, 1-0. Bainham has struggled to locate the off speed. He's been most effective with the fastball. Went back breaking ball, 2-0.
Tried to go changeup as keeping everything soft to Walter. He did have a pretty rough swing on a curveball in his first at bat.
2-0 pitch, chopped right on home plate. Walter a little ahead of the curve of the changeup, rather, 2-1.
Keeping everything away from Walter.
2 balls and a strike. Slider misses out. It's not breaking in at all, Ben. Not dropping either.
Yeah, not really there right now. Doesn't have the feel for the off speed.
3-1 Walter, line drive right to Jack Ewart at second base. Got a pitch he liked. Hit it hard, just right to Southern Maryland second baseman. There's one gone in the bottom of the third. Still an even score, 1-1 each side.
A little bit of tail on that. Made it so when he did swing, didn't get the full barrel to it. Looked like a good swing at first, just kind of died out on him. And that's what happens when you don't get the barrel to ball fully.
Brings in Will Henson. Skied out to right his first time up. Bainham already in motion, misses outside. Another breaking ball, slider that time, 1-0. Maybe a point of emphasis for Logan Bainham to work on this summer are those breaking balls. Gets Henson to chase on that one. Curveball dips, 1-1.
Everything is soft in the second inning. Interesting, you know, someone who's such a big, strong guy, you'd expect that a big heater to come out a lot, but we're not seeing that, you know, 92 plus fastball.
It's been effective, only one run allowed. Goes off speed again, 2-1. We've yet to see the fastball this inning, Ben. 5 pitches, no heater. Or 8 pitches, rather, no heater. Number 9, that one is chopped up the middle on the run. Vincent, throw on the run, not in time. Cale Vincent chased that one down behind the second base bag, tried to get it out in time, could not. Will Henson too fast. Runner aboard for the Cropdusters with one gone, even score 1-1 in the bottom of the third.
Stayed in the infield for a while, but good hustle from Henson. And someone who does like to steal a bag, although he has, you know, suffered some caught stealings.
Sakai Hawkins next up for Olney. Henson on first, one out. First pitch line drive left field. It falls, base hit. Sakai Hawkins rattles the slider into left, and he extends his hitting streak to 5 games.
Hawkins got a hanging curveball, and he is someone who can really sit on that off-speed pitch, and it was right in the zone. Absolutely smacked it.
Logan Bainham getting a visit from one of his coaches. Back-to-back singles for the Cropdusters. Only pressuring the Senators once more in the bottom of the third. They did it in the bottom of the second, but some base running gaps ended that inning. For a team that's been very dominant here in the Cal Ripken League, the Cropdusters really giving them everything that they're worth.
That they are, and they got the right man up here to keep it going. Jimmy Kirk already extra base hit an RBI in his first at-bat. And keep in mind, it was on the off-speed pitch, and that's really all that we've been seeing the second time around. So interesting to see if that'll continue.
Kirk, a chance to keep the mojo going, as you said, Ben. One out, Henson on second, Hawkins on first. 1-1 ball game. Bainham stays in, first pitch fastball high, 1-0. The velocity has really slowed down. We saw him top out at 90 in the first inning. Now it's dropped to 86.
Don't want to speculate on injury, but something could be going on that's just making him not wanting to throw the fastball.
Delivers another 85. Velo really slowing down for Logan Bainham. Jimmy Kirk, if there's one guy you want to slow down a pitch to, it's not him. Ripped one into left his first time up.
Definitely interesting and a little bit worrisome for Bingham.
Chop straight back. Kirk behind 1-2, one out.
But I will say it's pretty impressive that, you know, despite not having his fastball at all, he's still finding ways to attack and get ahead of hitters going basically all secondary pitches.
1-2 to Kirk. outside fastball, 87 from Bingham. 2-2, even count, one gone. Hawkins on first, Henson on second, 1-1 score in the bottom of the third. Bingham called strike 3. Jimmy Kirk, I don't think he knew how many strikes there were. He stood in the batter's box for a couple seconds after the strike was called and then began his motion to the first base side. It was right down Broadway, 86 straight gas from Logan Bingham, 2 gone.
Kirk was not looking for the fastball, getting a lot of off speed, expecting once more, and just frozen by the heat.
Carter Ritchie next up for the Cropdusters, first pitch away. Bingham really using the fastball after going exclusively off speed for the first 2 batters. It's 1-0.
Since the mound visit, I wonder if maybe a little meeting of the minds and that discussion of, you know, trust your heater even if you're not feeling like you got the velocity that you often do.
1-0. Off speed out and high, 2-0. Really no break on some of these off-speed pitches. Bingham, in all reality, fortunate he's only allowed 1 run. Cropdusters pressuring with a runner in scoring position and 2 outs, though. Carter Ritchie has a 3-0 count. Fastball missing high. Logan Bingham, not his typical self.
No, he is not. Someone who's only walked 2 in 11 innings going into today. He had to walk anybody out. He did hit Walter to start the game, and in danger of walking Ritchie to load the bases right now.
3-0 count. Henson on second, Hawkins on first. Ritchie takes the changeup upstairs, part of the plate, 3-1. Two gone. Even score, 1-1. 3-1 count to Ritchie. Chopped off his foot. Count full, 3-2. Payoff pitch. Upcoming. Runners will go on it.
And so on 3-0 we saw a changeup, 3-1 fastball. You know, often this would be a challenge pitch, a fastball, but for what we've seen from Bingham, Ritchie definitely cannot be sitting fastball. It could go any way here.
3-2. 2-1. Payoff pitch. Bingham. Ritchie skies it right side. Grown coming in, makes the catch. Inning over. Cropdusters not making it easy for Logan Bingham, but he stands tall. No pun intended for the man that is 6'7". Even score, 1-1 as we head to the top of the 4th.
Looks like we're going to see a pitching change. Looks like it'll be. Can't tell. Yeah, Ben Berger, I believe. And
Hey, Cropdusters fans, as we promised, our kids dusting the bases
Berger
have a little different flavor to it.
has
We have
been successful. ERA's good, numbers good. Just the one issue that stands out for him is the walks. You know, he's got a 3 ERA in 12 innings, which is very solid, but 12 walks in 12 innings. He's only actually given up 6 hits, but when he's averaging a walk per inning, it's you're gonna struggle if that's your numbers.
Last time he was out, he walked 4 straight. Was pulled after. Dogs running the bases right now.
On their way to third base.
Is that allowed? There's a guy carrying it in between second and third. That seems a little bit like cheating.
I think it's more just, you know, not trusting the dog to know which way to go and giving him a little heads up. But look, a lot of great dogs. Some of those belong on, you know, in Best in Show. They do a great job.
Do you have any dogs at home, Ben?
I do. I have one. Pebbles, Norfolk Terrier mix, an absolute sweetie, and you got 2 yourself, don't you?
I do. My yellow lab, Charlie, and my mom's pug, Romeo. I have a favorite. I'll tell you what, it's not the pug.
No.
But yeah, dogs are great. I also enjoy cats. Got to interact with a cat when I went up to Vermont a few days ago. My girlfriend and her family, they have a cat, a little black cat named Chuck, after Chuck Taylor's, the basketball player in the shoe.
Wow.
But girl cat. So I have girl cat with a guy named. She has, or girl dog with a guy named. She has girl cat with a guy name as well.
You know, my girlfriend, she also has 2 cats, and she loves those cats. And for me, it's not even a question. I feel like whether if I am positive about the cats just because how much she likes them, it would be crazy if I didn't just have such positive feelings for how much they respect the cats.
I'm a big cat fan. Had a cat growing up. It was my first pet. Stitches was her name. She was fantastic. A little shy. Did not care for me because I kept trying to pick her up because I was just a attention-seeking little kid running around chasing her down the basement.
Yeah, you're a kid. That's what you're supposed to do with pets, right? You're supposed to be the antagonist.
I was one of those weird kids that had frogs, too.
Yeah?
I had 2 frogs named Ollie and Frazier after the boxers.
Wow, that's awesome. Something you'd ever want to bring back in your future life? Get some
Yeah, I
more
would like
frogs?
some more frogs.
Yeah?
They were easy to take care of. They were cool to look at. Lived about 2 years, too, which was about 6 months over their expected span. Top of the 4th, new pitcher Ben Berger on the bump. Logan Tribble at the dish. Lefty-lefty matchup. First pitch fastball misses high, 1-0. Steven Krause, rather. 2-0 count.
Yeah, for me, the idea of a terrarium always seems pretty interesting. Get your own kind of ecosystem going.
I think that would be fun. I want to get fish, too. We had fish growing up. Big old tank, and then I got a hole in it. Glass burst, and we had to get rid of the fish.
Oh, that's terrible.
We were in a bucket swimming around our downstairs shower for the longest time.
Oh, no.
Ben Berger in deep water right now. 3-0 count. The cleanup man, Steve Krause. Pitch. Called strike. Richie does a nice job to frame it, top of the zone. Location already an issue for Ben Berger. Krause skies it left side, out of play. Back-to-back 4-seamers from Berger. He makes it a full count, 3-2.
Yeah, back-to-back pitches are important, both fastballs. We talk about Berger a lot, how he succeeds throwing kind of junk, but at any level, you need to be able to command the fastball to have success, and that just makes your off-speed stuff work so well. So we'll see if that's something he can do today.
3 balls and 2 strikes. Off-speed skied. Straight back. Richie with space makes the catch. 1 gone.
And a good example there after going back-to-back fastballs. The off-speed pitch gets him ahead of it, and I think I want to stop for a little shout-out. I have pretty strong feelings that the Smith family's listening. Ben Berger's grandparents. We got to talk to them, and they were both super nice. And we know they're done with a full day on the farm now. Tucked in, listening to us. So thanks for listening. And we of course we want to be positive about Ben. Hopefully, it's a good outing.
He's 1 for 1 so far. And then I want to give a shout out as well. Don't know if you saw on the stream, but the Cropdusters bat boy just came out. Brief pause in the stream. Sorry about that, but Colin Najibe, leader called him one of the hardest working guy on the team, on his knees cleaning up trash and stuff from the dugout the other night. He's on his way to Cooperstown tomorrow. I know that's very popular among kids growing up that played baseball. I never went. I'm not sure if you did, Ben. My brother did. But we want to give Colin and the Savage Eagles our best wishes as they head to Cooperstown. Line drive out to center is caught by Scott. Obviously a big tournament. Colin, hard-working guy for the Cropdusters. We hope his team succeeds up north in New York.
And we hope he succeeds as a player, but I think if it doesn't work out, I think he might have a coaching career ready. We were talking to Coach Evans, and after the positions were assigned, seems like Colin had a lot to say in what the batting order should be, and it worked out well. They got a victory, so credit to Colin. He's got a great head on his shoulders.
has a better record making the lineup than both Mike Evans and Adam Leader so far this season. 1-0, perfect stripe. Cropdusters won that game 7-5. A solid offensive output for Olney as Chet Bowling swings through the off-speed pitch, 0-2.
Really nice outing so far from Ben Berger, getting the off-speed stuff working. And when he's in command, when he's controlling the zone, he becomes such a dangerous pitcher to face.
0-2 pitch, skied foul. And you said it, Ben, when he's staying ahead in the count, Berger is really difficult to come back on because he throws so much junk. If you get ahead, you can anticipate the fastball, which isn't going to beat you with velocity, but when he's ahead, it can throw you the changeup or the slider or the curveball. That's when hitters stay on their toes and when they struggle. 0-2, breaking ball freezes him right on cue. Ben Berger locks up Chet Bowling. Still a 1-1 contest as we head to the bottom of the fourth.
Nasty pitch, 15 inches of horizontal break, and that thing just, it looked like it was going to be in the lefty batter's box, and it just snapped in the zone, and it totally froze Bowling. I mean, tough to do anything with that pitch. Dominant inning from Ben Berger. That's what we saw from him in the beginning of the season.
It's hard to say vintage when we're just talking about 3 weeks ago, but in all reality, a semi-antique performance from Ben Berger. Really solid first inning. 3 up, 3 down goes the Senators. Cropdusters hanging with the league's best. Bats need to come alive a little bit with runners on. Still a 1-1 ball game.
This is some exciting news. Ladies and gentlemen, we had our first doggy adoption tonight. Let's hear it for Canine Rescue.
How about that? No matter what happens in this Cropduster game, it's going to be a successful night regardless. We already got one dog adopted. Hope that we get a couple more before the night is over, but nice to hear that.
Did you adopt your dog?
I did, actually, yes, we did. We adopted Pebbles.
From the SPCA or a different organization?
Different organization. I think my mom and my sister would be the better ones to get, but I remember this was a long process, and then we found her, and I think she was in Texas. She was pretty thin, and it worked out for us. I mean, she's just gorgeous. What about you?
Both my dogs came from breeders, but Stitches was found in the alley giving birth to a litter of kittens. And she had to be stitched up after giving birth, and everybody took the kittens, and we took the cat and named her Stitches because she got a little operation performed on her. Bottom of the fourth here from First Responders Field. Logan Bainham back out on the bump. Austin Stalker at the dish. First pitch off speed out of the zone. 1-0. Still a 1-1 ball game. Cropdusters have been the more attacking team so far as a heater misses up and out. 2 balls and no strikes to Stalker.
You got any Stitches stories?
About the cat?
No, yourself. Ever get any Stitches?
I should have when I was in 8th grade as Stalker swings through the breaking ball 2-1. I was trying to retrieve a baseball bat that I left in our middle school facility. Had to climb a tall fence and it had the little wire strings at the top. Cut my leg on it. They didn't give stitches at school. Wow. I just went to the nurse's office. They gave me a Band-Aid. Didn't call my parents, and now I have a gnarly scar on the inside part of my right thigh.
They just gave you Band-Aid. They said go about your day as they, not what they should be doing, but.
They try their best with what they have. You've ever gotten stitches?
Yes, I feel like I lived the classic kind of athletic, kind of outdoorsy kid life. Just stuff happens, whether it's being dumb and jumping and doing cliff jumping without wearing shoes and getting a nasty cut on your foot, or just playing soccer and falling and getting your knee cut open. Just stuff happens to kids, right? I mean, that's what it's all about. What's wrong if you don't go life with some bruises on the way and some scars to show it.
There's always good stories behind some of them. Stalker on first. He drew a walk. First time the Cropdusters have walked tonight. Brings up Aiden Fry, first pitch called strike. Breaking ball up and out, coats that corner, 0-1. Bainham comes set. Checks over on first, Stalker back safely. I have some nasty cut on my feet rather from getting them cut up on the fin of my surfboard, just wiping out, but nothing that required any sort of stitches. Definitely less cool to say you fell off your surfboard, nosedived, and it caught you on the foot as opposed to jumping off a cliff and having to get stitches that way. It's a less cool story.
I wouldn't undersell how cool it is to say you know how to surf. I think that's, yeah. Don't underestimate that. That's a rare feat these days.
It's one of the things I miss most being up here in Olney. Love the area. It's just no beach as it is for me at home. Stalker tries to steal second base, but Fry fouls off the fastball right side, 1-2.
And for you at home, is the water in the ocean right now warm enough, or what would it be like?
A bunch of my friends are lifeguards, so I follow our beach's lifeguarding account. Mid to high 70s in the Atlantic down in Virginia Beach. Apparently very pretty. It was really clear the other day. My brother went out with his board, had a great time. 1-2 pitch. Fry lines it left field. On the run goes Tribble. Diving play! Takes it off the ground. Stellar glove work in left. There's one gone in the bottom of the fourth.
Right when Fry hits that, you're just hoping that it dies and unable to, stay up for a play, but just barely has had enough legs to stay up for the catch. Nice play in left field, but unfortunate for Fry. Well done by Tribble.
Coy Swanson skies it right field. We had a call in the booth from one of our fellow interns. Said home run. Awfully close. Swanson hit it 336 feet just to the right of the right field foul pole. 0-1. 1 out. 1-1 contest. Bottom of the fourth. Stalker on first. Coy Swanson at the dish. Skies it straight back. Stalker try to take second base once more. Will have to retreat. 0-2 count now to Coy Swanson.
And similar to Swanson's first at-bat, running the hit and run, worked perfectly in that at-bat except for the fact that we saw Fry get caught at third. But again, he's getting pitched to outside and with slow pitches. If the shortstop vacates the hole to try to get the stolen base, all you got to do is hit a ground ball right into that hole. Sit back and do it.
He's well late. 88 up in the zone. Sat back a little too much, Ben. There's two gone.
Seems that way.
Ryan Scott, next man in for Olney. Runner on, two gone, even score. 1-1 for each side. Logan Bainham for the Senators. Checks over on Stalker at first. They're really keeping Olney's first baseman honest. Stalker has only one stolen base so far this season. Senators giving him a lot of attention. Back-to-back fastballs. That one outside. First pitch to Scott. 1-0 count. Scott awaits. Bainham pauses. Now delivers. Foul ball right side out of play. Even count. 1-1.
And another inning where the Cropdusters was able to get a base runner. This time a leadoff one in Stalker, but having some trouble pushing runners on, especially since that first inning.
3 of the Cropdusters' 4 innings have started with a runner on. Stalker heads down to second. He's safe. Throw by Chet Bowling went right to the bag. 2-1 now to Brian Scott. Runner in scoring position with 2 outs. 1-1 ball game.
And similar to that first inning, they got the runner to second base with 2 outs and just kind of found a way to move him over with a base knock. Scott would great time for a 2-out knock right now.
2-1 up and high. Scott turns his face. He's ahead 3-1. Austin Stalker now with 2 stolen bases on the season. He stands 180 feet from home plate. Bainham takes the sign from bowling. Finally comes set. 3 balls and a strike to Scott. Changeup drops in the zone. Count worked full, 3-2. Scott chops it. Shortstop, Vincent, scoop, throw. In time. Nice stretch by Steve Krause at first to secure the toss. Cropdusters up empty-handed once more. They have now stranded 5 base runners. It's a 1-1 ball game as we head to the 5th.
Canine Rescue Adoption Goals and replace an animal where it will receive veterinary care, not add to the pet overpopulation problem, be cared for, to not roam free, and to be in a mutually happy environment. Check out Canine Rescue.
And Ben Berger going out for a second inning of work after a really impressive first inning.
Canine Rescue and Olney Cropdusters, because Cropdusters cares.
And if Berger can hit the spots the way he did in that first inning, he's just going to continue to succeed.
Berger was extremely solid in the 4th. Back out for his 2nd inning of work.
And he's got great stuff. And if he's able to use it, then he becomes this dangerous pitcher. That's what we talked about. He's got to be able to, command. But got to love what you're seeing, getting his fastball and his off-speed to work.
Batting for the Senators, the third baseman, number 11 from Gulf Coast Community College, Alex Martin.
Top of the 5th here from First Responders Field. Ben Berger back out for his 2nd inning of work. We're in a deadlock contest. It's 1-1. Alex Martin comes to the plate. Berger already in motion. First pitch fastball up and out, 1-0.
And he likes to work quick, especially when he thinks he's in a rhythm, wants to stay in it.
Typical of many Cropdusters pitchers. Goes off speed, chopped left side out of play, even count, a ball and a strike. Martin 0 for 1 tonight. Flew out in foul territory to Austin Stalker at first base. Off speed, ricochets off the plate, 2-1. Nobody out in the top of the 5th. Still a 1-1 contest. Berger kicks, deals. Swing and a miss. Fastball right down the middle. Alex Martin over top of it. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Favorable matchup, getting 7, 8, 9.
Berger already set, ready to begin his windup. He does. Swing and a miss. He goes back to the 4-seamer. Alex Martin cannot locate. There's one gone.
Really nice pitch. The fastball darting away to the righty. Excellent location.
It's Dawson Smale, designated hitter, standing in for the Senators. Ben Berger clearly in a groove. He's already started his motion once Senators batters come into the box. Lefty-lefty matchup, first pitch off speed, breaks outside part of the plate, 0-1. Tries to go back to the slider. Misses low, 1-1. Berger delivers. Fastball just misses outside. Count in favor of Smale, 2 balls and a strike. Aiden Fry in on the grass at third base. Check swing, he goes around. Chases the junk in the dirt. 2-2. Berger in motion, heads home. Off speed called, strike 3. 3 straight strikeouts for Ben Berger. There's 2 gone in the top of the 5th, still a 1-1 ball game.
Excellent pitching. Berger so in control, getting all of his pitches to work, able to get his off speed in for strikes, but also can get it to chase, and that's what helps when you can throw it in the zone.
First pitch attack, Stalker takes it on the line drive. And just like that, Ben Berger has retired 6 straight. Olney still in an even contest with the Senators. It's 1-1 as we head to the bottom of the 5th.
Hey fans, please turn your attention to the first base side of the field.
Excellent inning. And 2 really promising innings from Ben Berger. And this is what he does when he's in control, when he's commanding the stuff.
Cotton Eye Joe going on the first base line. Umpires doing it again with the Cropdusters.
Let's hear some noise for you Cropdusters. Let's hear some noise for our umpires.
If I was on the other team right now, I would have some interesting thoughts about the umpires dancing with one of the 2 teams. But, you know, it's the summer, we're all having fun. Cotton Eye Joe, how much can you really complain about someone just doing some Cotton Eye Joe?
I feel like it's got to be really, if you're ahead on the Cropdusters in the 5th inning by say 6 or 7 runs, and they come out to dance, first off, I'm sure the Cropdusters don't want to dance in front of a crowd when they're down 7 runs, but if you're the away team and you see that, I'm sure it's got to be, in a very guilty pleasure sense, very fun to watch. Fortunately, that hasn't happened for Olney so far.
Speaking of Top Down Construction, Costa Mathias is in the house.
New arm on the bump. It's Bruce Wadiak for the Senators. He's 1-1 this season with a 4.69 ERA and 7 2/3 innings pitched. He takes over for Logan Bainham.
I believe we also saw him earlier this year.
Similar arms coming in to face the Cropdusters.
It's a tie game. Cropdusters will feel that they should be ahead in this one. Got top of the order for the 3rd time. Walter reached base once and scored the only run. But great to get him on base, someone who you know will be moving.
Top of the order for the Cropdusters here in the bottom of the 5th. Still a 1-1 game. New arm, Bruce Wadiak on the bump for the Senators. First pitch nearly drills Cade Walter. It went behind him. 87-mile-an-hour fastball. Walter already hit by a pitch. He's got a 1-0 count. An eventful first pitch for Bruce Wadiak. Tries to go back to the 4-seamer, misses. Barely a ball, 2-0. So our strike zone called it a strike.
Sometimes you get a little bit, you don't get the benefit of the doubt after looking so wild on your first pitch.
2 balls, no strikes. 3 balls, no strikes. 3 straight fastballs, all missing in. Wadiak already struggling with location. Four pitches, 4 balls on 4 consecutive 4-seamers. Leadoff man aboard for the Cropdusters, Cade Walter, and he can absolutely fly. And already a mound visit.
trying to get ahead of it. And Wadiak walks can be an issue. In 7 2/3 so far, he has 6 walks. He does have 12 strikeouts to go along with it, though. So he's a big power pitcher. And like many of these guys, though, who have the big strikeout ability, the question is, can they get the ball in the zone? To Walter, he threw 2 competitive pitches, the 2 ones that were nowhere near the strike zone. And something to watch for, as you know, whenever you see mounds like that, it's always that the coach has some concerns about the ability to throw strikes.
Wadiak stays on the bump. It's Will Henson coming in for the Cropdusters. Runner on, nobody out here in the top, or bottom rather, of the 5th. Still a 1-1 ball game. Walter on first, Henson at the dish. Off goes Walter. Henson, foul tip straight back. I love that the Cropdusters get a green light as little Star Wars cantina music.
Yeah, who did?
Echo into the ballpark.
It's a good swing by Henson. Aggressive after the 4 balls.
0-1. Walter extends his lead at first. He'll hold this time. Henson swings through the fastball. 0-2. After firing 4 straight balls, Bruce Wadiak has fired back 2 consecutive strikes. And now the home plate umpire issues some sort of hand signal.
I thought he just stepped off initially. I didn't. Unclear what led to that.
Off goes Walter. Henson, swing and a miss, throw down to second. Not in time. It's a near guarantee when Cade Walter takes off from first. He steals another base. Been nearly uncatchable on the path so far this season. 10 bags stolen. He's only been caught once. Henson down on strike, so there is 1 out. Brings up Sakai Hawkins. Walter in scoring position. 1-1 ball game. Bottom of the 5th. First pitch, Hawkins called strike.
Did not sure about that one. Looked up and out to me.
0-1. Wayback takes his time. Delivers a fastball well high. Fastest pitch we've seen from him, 89. One and 1. Three heaters. He's connected on 1, missed 2, 2-1 to Hawkins. Walter still on second, 1 gone, 1-1 contest, bottom of the 5th. Wadiak. Ground ball, third base. Martin, pick, throw. Draws Kraus off the bag. Looks like he might have had a chance to stretch, just played it safe. Walter didn't run on the hit, so he's still on second. Hawkins is safe at first. Second error by Alex Martin tonight. 2 aboard, 1 gone for Jimmy Kirk.
Routine play, but a gift. And 2 speedy runners on base.
For a not-so-speedy guy at the plate in Kirk. First pitch out, 1-0.
Maybe a chance for double steal if they're able to time up Wadiak.
1-0 count. Walter was jumping on second base. Kirk takes back-to-back pitches out of the zone. 2-0.
One of those things when you saw what Walter did there, taking a little extra step and seeing how the pitcher reacts. Will he step off? Will he look back? And he did nothing. So that just gives you some more confidence that you can take a bit bigger of a lead and think about trying to swipe third.
2-0. Walter holds. Wadiak, 3 straight misses. 3-0, 1 away. Tied contest, 1-1. Cropdusters really making the Senators work for everything they get.
Earlier in the at-bat, I'm all about stealing him, but 3-0, be safe. Do not even take that big of a lead. It's not worth it.
Fouled straight back. Kirk chased the upstairs fastball. It was at his neck almost.
And we've seen that with Jimmy Kirk a couple times. He loves the 3-0 swing. So because of him saying, I'm going to swing 3-0, he ends up actually chasing a pitch out of the zone. You got to be careful on 3-0. If you're going to swing, it has to be one in your wheelhouse. It has to be.
3-1, 1 gone. 2 men on. Walter on second. Hawkins on first. Upstairs fastball. Kirk, no chance he swings at that. It was over his head. He draws the walk. He's on for the second time tonight. Bases now loaded with 1 away for Carter Ritchie. Deadlock score, 1 for each side. Bottom of the 5th, 1 out. Walter on third, Hawkins on second, Kirk on first. Carter Ritchie at the dish facing Bruce Wadiak. First pitch misses away. 5 straight balls for Wadiak. 1-0. Wadiak awaits. Comes set. Ritchie. Chow straight back. Even count, a ball and a strike. Corners in for the Senators. Middle infield playing back. Anticipating a potential double play. Swing and a miss. 91 upstairs. Ritchie can't connect. It's 1-2.
And like you said, upstairs, Ritchie, you know, in a situation where he just wants to do anything to get a run scored, this gets a little overzealous. So, you know, you got to be careful, especially someone who's not filling up the zone.
A ball and 2 strikes, 1 gone. Wadiak set. Kicks. Deals. Just away. 91 from Bruce Wadiak. He's kicking up the velocity. 2-2 count to Carter Ritchie. Bases are loaded with 1 out. We're in a tied ball game, 1-1. It's Walter on third, Hawkins on second, Kirk on first. Carter Ritchie at the dish. He's 1 for 2 tonight. Wadiak, a long pause. And he violates the pitch clock.
Wow.
3 balls and 2 strikes. He really did take his time.
Not the time to do that.
I see what you did there, Ben. I think we had time to read a chapter from a Harry Potter book before Wadiak. He never even came set. 3-2 count. He's set already. Kicks, deals, and the pitch clock costs him. Bruce Wadiak walks in a run. He's visibly frustrated as he struts back to the rubber. Cade Walter comes in to score. And the Cropdusters have a 2-1 advantage here in the bottom of the 5th. Bases still loaded, still 1 out. Austin Stalker next in.
Bullpen still quiet, but I don't know how long that can continue. Bases loaded, 1 run in, consecutive walks in this situation. You've got to get someone ready because Wadiak just does not seem to really have the zone.
He's hit a batter and walked a pair. Austin Stalker has walked once tonight. He's 0 for 1. First pitch attack, fouled straight back. Ricochets off the net into Bolin's glove. He makes the signal for an out. would be much useful for the Senators. It does not count. 0-1.
And we've talked about situations like this where the Cropdusters are able to get the lead and get a run, but what we want to see out of them is them really break it open, not just, you know, leave this inning with 1 or 2. Get all 3 of these runners in.
Upstairs fastball. Bowling had to pop up quick to make the catch. It's an even count, a ball and a strike.
You got a pitcher that's struggling with the strike zone. One who's if he's gonna throw you a strike, it's gonna be a lot of play. It's gonna be a fastball. You know, you best not miss it.
1-1. Kick, delivery, swing and a miss. 87 outside part of the plate rather. It's 1-2. Heater misses in. Stalker does his best limbo to avoid it. 2-2. Bases loaded, 1 out, 2-1 ball game. Cropdusters lead. Hawkins on third, Kirk on second, Ritchie on first. Pitch from Wadiak. Weak blooper into left center. It's gonna fall in the gap. 1 run scores. Kirk rounds third. Ritchie gonna stay at third base. Austin Stalker with a 1 out double, 2 run score. Olney up 4-1 against the top place team. Cropdusters still on the attack here in the bottom of the 5th.
Really awesome piece of hitting. We talked about that he shot the ball the other way, and that's exactly what he did right there. Got a fastball actually out of the zone, but he's so big. He has the ability to reach that pitch. Excellent, excellent swing. You know, not trying to do too much, just takes it the other way, letting his power and strength and the 90-mile-an-hour pitch do the most work, and excellent job, 2 runs in.
Austin Stalker really coming alive as of late. First pitch to Fry, gets away. With Ritchie on third, he holds. Not the fastest guy for Olney. They play it safe. Unusual for the Cropdusters, 1-0.
Right call from Ritchie. Aware of the situation, a struggling pitcher would not want to give him any favors.
Infield in. Still nobody up for the Senators, Ben. Wadiak really struggling. Senators content with leaving the righty in. Righty-righty matchup. 1-0. Fry. Skied, foul territory. Martin. It goes out of play. Just barely onto the bleachers. First strike makes it 1-1. Fryer waits, infield still in. Wadiak on the bump, 1 gone, 4-1 contest, bottom of the 5th. Ritchie on third, Stalker on second. Four-seamer up and out, 2-1. Kick, deal, swing and a miss. Fry chases outside, foul tips it into the glove of Bowling. It's 2-2.
And we talked about that yesterday with Fry. He's got to do what Stalker has done. He sees a lot of pitch on the outside part of the plate, but his approach is not to take it the other way. It has to be. It just does.
The 2-2. Breaking ball nearly grazes Aiden Fry. He turns out of the way. The pitch was inside, 3-2. Wadiak has already walked a pair of Cropdusters so far in the 5th inning. Make it a trio. Bases loaded again with 1 out.
Number 22 from Gaston College, Coy Swanson.
Senators cannot buy 3 strikes. Still 1 gone. Brings in Coy Swanson.
And you know, we talk about it a lot. He's got that one swing ability.
First pitch, One swing, one strike. Foul tip into the glove of Bowling, 0-1. Widiak set. Kick, deal. Fly ball, deep center field. On the run goes Troke. It's Groen who takes it. Tagging from third is Ritchie. He scores. Coy Swanson does his job. Helps extend Olney's lead. It's now 5-1 Cropdusters in the bottom of the fifth.
Good job by Swanson. Got a pitch in the zone, and that's what he was trying to do the whole time. Just lift it, use his power, get it to the outfield, get the run in. And good job from Olney, taking advantage of the walks and up to a 4-run lead.
Senators really struggling right now. First pitch attacking Brian Scott, fouled right side, out of play. There's 2 outs, bottom of the fifth. It's Austin Stalker on second base, Aiden Fry on first. Brian Scott at the dish, he's got an 0-1 count. Breaking ball, line drive, diving play. Cale Vincent ends the inning. Cropdusters tally 4 in the bottom of the fifth and lead 5-1 as we head to the sixth.
And we're seeing some good baseball from Olney. You know, we saw it in the beginning of the season, but we haven't seen a win streak like that since. Excellent at-bats, important work, and all you want to see.
Coach Hyder wasn't even there yet. And there they go. Let's hear it, Cropdusters fans. There goes Coach Hyder. He's gaining on them. Let's make some noise for our Cropdusters Croppies out there. It looks like Coach is going to win.
And as we saw it last time, Coach Hyder just won too easily. They need to give him a longer head start.
Not sure what he's doing. Okay, let's hear it for Hunt the Hyder.
And Ben Berger rewarded with the lead after 2 really perfect innings of work. Now he's trying to make it stand in what will probably be his last inning.
Ben Berger has been flawless so far, has allowed no base runners. A chance for his first win of the season. In the scorebook, rather. Top of the sixth. Here from First Responders Field, Cropdusters lead 5-1. Ben Berger back on the mound. Pinch hitter for the Senators. One 0 count. Calvin Cook at the dish, lefty-lefty matchup. He's got a 2-0 count. Berger bounces the fastball.
Number 7, Calvin Cook.
Senators in need of some life. They're going into their bench. Foul tip straight back, 2-1.
And you saw that swing from Cook way ahead of the Berger fastball, you know, trying to jump on it. But, you know, he'll notice that, you know, how with his good off speed, it seems like Cook could be susceptible to a nice changeup.
Cook shows bunt, the 2-1 count. Fry comes off the bag. Throw is wild. Drew Stalker off first base. Leadoff man aboard. Calvin Cook making use of the speed.
At first I thought that Fry should have just let that one go. Foul, but then he actually got it pretty quickly, and a good throw, and it's an out. So you can't fault him for going for it, but unfortunately, you know, the throw gets Stalker off the bag, and the leadoff base runner exactly what they were hoping for with the bunt.
It'll go down as a hit. First pitch in the dirt, bounces away from Richie. Cook takes second base. Cropdusters with a 4-run lead, at risk of slipping with a runner on second and nobody out. Adam Troke at the dish. Up and in, 2-0. Fry still in on third. Stalker playing back at first. Hawkins holding Cook at second. Berger focuses attention home. Troke ground ball right to Hawkins. Weird hop. Scoop in time. Adam Troke nearly beat it out. The Gunasakai Hawkins a little too fast. One gone. Cook advances to third. Still a 5-1 ball game here in the bottom, or the top rather, of the 6th.
Yeah, impressive velocity, impressive speed there, but Hawkins able to just do enough. Berger, you know, 5-1 game, you can't really care too much about the runner on third. You're just trying to get the outs. You'll trade it out for a run.
First pitch attack right to Fry. He throws home. Cook in a rundown. Richie chases him back to third. He slips. And the Senators, a base running gaffe of their own. 2 gone. Tribble takes over at first. Cook retired. No run scored. Still a 5-1 contest. 2 outs in the top of the 6th.
Adding insult to injury there. Not only do you get picked off third, you also fall down on the way. So unfortunate there, but excellent for Berger, who induces a ground ball. Heads up play from Fry, seeing the runner breaking, and now just 1 out away from getting out of it.
MJ Phillips, another pinch hitter, replacing Steve Krause. Senators looking for a spark. First pitch breaking ball, high, 1-0. And Ben, it looks like Southern Maryland might be relinquishing themselves a little bit. They've taken out 2 players who have higher averages than the guys they've replaced them with. It's a lefty-lefty matchup. It favors Berger. Despite that, Phillips up 2-0.
Long season, but relatively small roster. The same guys are starting a lot of games for them, so good chance to do some rotation.
Phillips doing his job. He's watched 3 straight balls and a 3-0 count in favor of the new first baseman. Berger kicks, deals. Outside, 2 aboard, 2 outs. 4-pitch walk for MJ Phillips. Brings up Carter Grown.
Batting the right fielder, number 23 from the University of Connecticut.
But only the first walk for Berger, and not coming until he's 1 out away from finishing his outing. So certainly promising. Now he's got to just get out of this inning right now.
2 aboard, 2 outs. Tribble on second, Phillips on first. Carter Grown at the dish. He's 1 for 2. First pitch attack, foul ball, 0-1.
Well done going to the changeup, addressing the aggressiveness and counteracting it with the first pitch off speed.
It's 0-1. Well over the head of Richie. Ricochets off the backstop. No run from Logan Tribble on second.
Phillips was ready to go, but it seemed like Tribble didn't have a good read of it, and a little bit of a break for the Cropdusters, especially keeping the runner on first.
1-1 count. Berger comes set. 2 outs. Bounces on the dirt again. Richie blocks and in front this time. 2-1. Berger has to collect. Grown back in the right-handed batter's box, lefty-righty matchup. 5-1 contest, Cropdusters ahead. Two balls and a strike. Berger, foul tip straight back. Even count, 2-2.
You know, it's hard to really tell, but it seems like the rain may be picking up. Oh yes, seriously, as I think you look at the lights, it's kind of coming down hard. As you know, Berger's got to worry about that and make sure he's got a dry ball.
2-2. Fouled back. He'll get a fresh pearl. Grown lives to see at least one more. 2 aboard, 2 outs. Top of the 6th. Cropdusters up 5-1. Carter Grown at the dish. Righty going against the lefty Ben Berger. Swing and a miss. Chases in the dirt, Ritchie. Grown doesn't even bother running to first. Berger gives him a little glance. And the inning's over.
Excellent outing. Ben Berger, 3 scoreless innings.
And I think we can say it now, vintage from Ben Berger. A near perfect outing. Lead holds at 4 for Olney. We head to the bottom of the 6th. Cropdusters back on the attack.
And just what Ben Berger needed. You know, ERA's still done well, but the whiff's been a bit of an issue for him. But in this outing, back to his best, back to the pitcher we know he can be.
Hey fans, right back here by the press box. I have Amy, president of Canine Rescue here. She has a brief comments and words for us.
Thank you so much for your support tonight. We've had a great time. We brought a lot of our adoptable dogs. We are local. We are in Brookville. So if you're looking for your next best friend, please consider us. We're a foster-based organization.
Bottom of the 6th. An interesting move, Ben. Bruce Wadiak back on the hill. He allowed 4 runs in the bottom of the 5th. And we kind of hinted at it with all the pinch hitters. It seems like Southern Maryland is just okay with dropping this one. It would be 2 straight for the first place squad.
Yeah, it's a little strange that they're not seemingly trying to do everything they can to come back. But again, long season, played a lot of games. You know, they have a nice spot at the top, and maybe just a situation where you can't necessarily win them all, and that could be how they're viewing this one. And now they're trusting Wadiak to say, you know, to give them some innings and save their bullpen a little bit. But you know, it's a tough task for someone who is having some trouble finding the zone. Interestingly enough, it's going to be Cade Walter. His 4th at bat, his 4th time leading off. He of course started the game batting first, but he's also done so. And impressive, you know, everybody batted last inning as he led off last inning as well. Of course, would love for a similar success this one.
Bottom of the 6th. Here from First Responders Field, Bruce Wadiak back on the bump. Cade Walter, as you said, Ben, leading off for his 4th time tonight. First pitch, off speed, up and out, 1-0. Cropdusters lead 5-1. It's Cade Walter at the dish. Wadiak back out after allowing 4 runs in the bottom of the 5th. His 1-0 pitch, Walter skies it left side out of play. Levels the count, a ball and a strike.
But Wadiak, now he understands his outing. It's, you know, there's a 4-run deficit. His team might not be as, you know, worried about this victory. He's just got to change his approach and say, okay, I know I have to throw strikes, got to lower my ego and just find a way to find the zone.
1-1, swing and a miss. Not sure if he found it, but Walter chased regardless. It's 1-2. Walter led off last inning wearing a pitch from Bruce Wadiak. 1-2, off speed, and he wears another right on cue. Cade Walter has now been hit by 3 pitches tonight. He'll have some bruises tomorrow, Ben. He takes first base, leadoff man aboard for the Cropdusters once again.
Luckily enough, it's been a lot of off-speed pitches, but still, never great. But for Walter, got on base 3 times, but via the free pass, and the first 2 times he scored on it. So, we've seen him steal second and score. So
he entered the contest with a 10-game on-base streak. He had to pay a price to extend it to 11, but he's on first. Brings up Will Henson. Couple righties throwing for the Senators. Nobody tossing a full bullpen. First pitch fastball misses away.
It's continuing to come down. You see umbrellas are out and people maybe starting to leave a little bit as they tried their best, but too much rain is, can't really do much about it.
Doesn't help that the dogs are gone.
No, it does not.
We had an adoption event here tonight with a bunch of puppies, so that drew a lot of fans to the ballpark. 1-0 pitch fastball well up and in. Henson initially showed bunt, pulled back. When he saw it coming for his teeth, it's 2-0.
I think maybe the situation taken all the way, and some people just feel more comfortable when they're taking a pitch to pretend to show bunt. Also thinks it makes it more difficult on the pitcher.
2 balls, no strikes. Henson squares around again. Another 4-seamer misses away. Bruce Wadiak struggling to hit the side of a barn right now. It's 3-0.
And this was relatively foreseeable. Like you said, surprising to see him going out there for a second inning. We'll see how much longer he'll be tasked with this one.
3-0 pitch. Another walk. He has now surrendered 4 balls on bases to go alongside his 2 hit by pitches. That's 6 free bags the Cropdusters have tallied off Bruce Wadiak. First 2 men on, nobody out in the bottom of the 6th. Cropdusters lead 5-1, and maybe this will be the end for Bruce Wadiak. Head manager looking off to the bullpen, and they'll call. Unusual why he came out there. Wadiak briskly walks off the diamond.
Yeah, I think there was just checking to see if the bullpen was ready yet. And yeah, it's a mistake leaving him in. A foreseeable one of that, like we discussed. Instead of having a new pitcher start a clean inning, it's a pitcher having to come in with 2 outs, nobody on. And Wadiak, who didn't really have it today, had to struggle through 2 more batters instead of just kind of cutting his losses after the 1 inning and bouncing back a little bit earlier.
So Senators finally make the change. Chance for them to bounce back with a new arm.
That's right, Cooperstown with a Hall of Fame base for baseball. Colin's heading there to play some baseball. Let's hear it for Colin.
There's Colin coming out, getting a standing ovation from the fans for heading to Cooperstown. He makes the most of his moment, sticks both hands up. Like he just won the UFC lightweight title, which is on the line tonight, Ben.
Is it on the line tonight?
It is on the line.
Tell me about it.
Charles Du Bronx Oliveira versus Ilia Topuria. We are not by any means sponsored by the UFC. But you and I will be watching.
We will be.
I'm super excited. Charles Oliveira, my favorite fighter, has been for the longest time. One of the few fighters that have made me get emotional after wins and losses. It's hard, Ben. Sometimes these guys only fight once a year, and it means so much.
Should I have the tissues ready for tonight? Do you think it could be an emotional one?
I think it will, regardless of what happens.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the guy he's going against, Ilia Topuria, undefeated, heavy favorite. I'm hopeful, Ben, but calling me optimistic might be a stretch. Realistically, I think Charles is going to fall victim to another Ilia Topuria right hand, but we will be rooting for both Brazilian, at least I will, both Brazilians in the main event and the co-main event, Charles being one of them. But man, oh man, it's going to be a great time.
I'll see to you. You tell me, you tell me where, and I'm in, and I'll root. And yeah, seems like it could be emotional, especially if we get that upset from the older, veteran Oliveira.
Whoever is around us as that fight concludes, if it is Oliveira winning, they're going to have to cover their ears. The screams will be loud. The new arm for the Senators. It's Bryce Harder on the bump facing Zakai Hawkins. Nobody out. 5-1 contest. Cropdusters lead. Bottom of the 6th. 2 men on for Olney. First pitch. Called strike. Harder delivers 84 out of his hand. It's 0-1.
And the velocity not the same as Wadiak. Hawkins can sit back a little bit and look to drive.
Harder has better control. 2.57 ERA and 7 innings pitched. He's appeared in 4 games. 0-1 misses low. Count even, a ball and a strike. In those 4 outings, Harder has only walked 3 batters compared to the 4 that Bruce Wadiak walked in just an inning. It's quite the contrast. 1-1 pitch to Hawkins. Low. Bowling. Dropped it for a second, but it was right in front of him, so both runners hold. It's Walter on second. Henson on first. Hawkins at the plate. 2-1 count, nobody out. Cropdusters already lead by 4. Bottom of the 6th, Harder comes set. Checks on Walter twice. Heads home, misses high. 3-1.
Velocity, control committing to be an issue. And for someone who hasn't necessarily struggled with command that seriously, 3 walks on the year, like we talked about, but, he just...
3-1.
It's contagious right now.
It really is. Something must be on the ball. Might need some Lysol. Another walk. That's 3 straight free bases for the Cropdusters. Loads them up with nobody out. Only already up by 4. Jimmy Kirk, a chance to really break this one open. Already has 2 RBIs on the night. Corners in, middle infield back for the Senators. Harder comes set. Kick, deal, Kirk. First pitch attack, bloop over the first baseman. It's going to fall. Walter comes in to score with the infield in. Jimmy Kirk bloops one in no man's land, just a foot or 2 beyond the grass behind first base. RBI single for the Cropdusters makes it 6-1 in the bottom of the 6th. Everything going Olney's way.
Everything indeed. And, all the reason to think that they're nowhere near done in this inning. Base loaded, no outs. And they can just keep it rolling.
Carter Ritchie, next man up for the Cropdusters, walked with the bases loaded in the 5th. First pitch, check swing. He went around, strike 1. 84-mile-an-hour fastball in on the hands. Ritchie tried to resist but couldn't entirely. Henson's on third. Hawkins is on second. It's Kirk on first. Nobody out. Cropdusters already lead by 5. Harper set. Kick, deal. Off speed, called strike 2, rather.
Ritchie was in a similar spot as the last at bat. There he walked in a run. This time seems unlikely. We'll see what he can do with his bat.
He has a single tonight. He's 1 for 2. He is down 0-2 in the count. Harper takes his time. He has to be aware of the pitch clock. It's already been called once tonight. 0-2. Ritchie, line drive into center field, base hit. 1 run scores. Hawkins right behind Henson. He's in to score. Count them up, folks. The only bats are barking. It's 8-1 Cropdusters. Still nobody out in the bottom of the 6th.
Now batting the first baseman, number 16 from Westchester University, Austin Starker.
And the Cropdusters may be getting close to their first ever Mercy of the year.
Need 3 more. Austin Stalker stands in. You said it, Ben. Only needs 3 more to make it 11. Need to be up by 10. 0-1 count to Stalker. Swing, foul, tip, straight back, 0-2. Carter Ritchie entered tonight without a hit in 6 of his last 7 games. He's got 2 and 3 RBIs. Quite the bounce back performance for Olney's catcher. 0-2 pitch to Stalker, well upstairs.
And needed. You know, Carter Ritchie was the anchor of this offense in the first week or so. He's taken a bit of a step back. Important to see that they can score with, you know, other guys, but nice to see that he's kind of come back into the frame and gone back to being a complimentary piece of this lineup.
Olney, a stellar performance, rather shocking ahead of the first place team by 7. Fastball from Harper misses in. 2-2 count to Austin Stalker. Nobody out in the bottom of the 6th. Jimmy Kirk on second. Carter Ritchie on first. Austin Stalker at the dish. Bryce Harder on the mound. 2-2. Stalker fouls it left side, out of play, into the Senators bullpen in left field. Two and two. Long pause from Harder. Now heads home. Stalker, run up on strikes. That's the second time he's been called on the inside low corner. Stalker feeling chipped. There's one gone in the bottom of the 6th. Aiden Fry, next man up for Olney. First pitch to Fry, called strike 1. Harder settling in off speed, cracks the upstairs part of the zone. Cropdusters lead 8-1 in the bottom of the 6th. Jimmy Kirk stands on second. Carter Ritchie on first. Aiden Fry represents the winning run. Swing and a miss. Late on the outside fastball, he's down 0-2. Fry, diligent take, right on the border. Gets the benefit of the doubt, 1-2. I'm sure Austin Stalker is a little frustrated that the home plate umpire is being a little bit more generous in the corners to Aiden Fry than he was to himself. 1-2. Fry line drive caught. Jimmy Kirk caught in no man's land. Double play ends the inning. Cropdusters tally a trio, extend their lead to 7. It's 8-1 as we head to the top of the 7th.
The scores: the Senators 1, the Cropdusters 8.
But another strong inning as they put up 7 runs these last 2 innings. It's a very solid team and in a great spot.
Hey fans, a big shout out to the Pascal family. Pascal family feeding the players, coaches, and intern staff at tonight's game. Thank you to the Pascal family.
It's going to be Angel Santiago Cruz. seen him in a while.
It's been a long time. Just one outing for Santiago Cruz on the bump so far this season. Plays third base for the Cropdusters nearly every other day. Gets the call. Had one outing. He pitched 3 innings, allowed 1 hit, 1 earned run, walked a batter, struck out 2, and got the win. So an arm that showed some promise early on in the season. He has a 7-run advantage. Plenty of room to try some things out for Santiago Cruz to make the most of this outing.
It's been a bit out of necessity, it feels like. Just that, they have Cromartie at third, but you see with Santiago Cruz pitching, you're forcing Fry to go to third base. There's not that many options. So for a good third baseman to be, to be out of the lineup is tough. Especially when, pitching often makes him have to sit another day or two. So, it's tough to take him out of the lineup for that long, especially at a position of, some importance.
It definitely, especially as you said, just no pressure, first time out in a long time. This is kind of ideal for Santiago Cruz, regardless of how long he goes. It's just, after you don't pitch for that long, even the major leagues, they send you to a rehab assignment in AAA or AA. For Santiago Cruz, this is about as close as you can get to a rehab assignment without suffering an injury. Long time off the mound, live at-bats, no pressure scenario. If this game got close, Santiago Cruz would be well off the mound before the Senators tallied 7 to even things up.
And he's got a rocket arm, we see it from third base, and of course we saw it from the mound once, but I'm excited to see him on the ball.
Now batting the catcher, number 17 from Winthrop University.
It's the top of the 7. Top of the 7th, now Santiago Cruz on the mound. Chet Bowling at the dish. Cropdusters lead 8-1. Santiago Cruz comes set. Kicks, deals, first pitch called, strike. At the plate, Bowling went around. Santiago Cruz bounced an off-speed pitch in the dirt, but there was no debate. 0-1. Back to the off-speed. Full swing from Bowling, 0-2.
Really nice pitch from Santiago Cruz, just snapping. Clearly one that is tough to take.
Santiago Cruz looks like he's taken no time off. 0-2 pitch. Fly ball, left field. Walter takes 6 steps to his right, makes the catch. 1 gone in the top of the 7th.
Now batting for the Senators, number 22 from Boston College, Danny.
So sort of the worst, off-speed that he's thrown in that at-bat, kind of more the get-me-over one, but still, a good enough pitch that even the location not being ideal, is still able to get the easy out.
Bowling kind of missed. It hung for a little bit. A chance to really drive it, just could not do it. First time we saw the fastball from Santiago Cruz was just the last pitch. 0-1 count, 90, topping out. Went off speed, missed high and out. Even count, a ball and a strike. It's Danny Surweek at the dish. He's taken back-to-back balls. As a 2-1 count. Surweek batting .240 on the season. 12 hits and 50 at-bats. He's ahead 2-1. Swing and a miss. Make it 2-2. Fastball from Santiago Cruz levels the count. There's 1 out in the top of the 7th. Cropdusters lead 8-1. Santiago Cruz set, kick, deal, broken bat, bloop, right to Hawkins at short. 2 gone. One of the worst feelings coming in off the bench. Pinch hitter for Suweek. Breaks the bat. Weak hit. Gets out.
Yes.
Unholy trinity right there.
That's a good way to put it. Unfortunate on all fronts. But Santiago Cruz, that electric fastball, inducing the broken bat.
A kick up from what we saw from Ben Berger. Goes back to the fastball, tops at 90, misses low, 1-0. It's Dawson Smale at the dish. Senators trail by 7. 2-0. Santiago Cruz takes a little off the four-seamer, gets the called strike, makes it a 2-1 count, 2 gone, nobody on. Senators trail by 7 in the top of the 7th. Narrow miss, just a little below the knees, 3-1. Line drive into center field on the run. Scott makes the catch, and the inning is over. Cropdusters up 8-1 over the Southern Maryland Senators.
Hey fans, it's now time for the 7th inning stretch.
We now head to the bottom of the 7th, and Ben, the Senators coming into tonight had only lost one game to a team that sat, or coming into last night rather, had only lost one game to a team that sat below 500. Last night they lose to the Giants, worst team in the league, on a long skid. Worst team in the division, rather. Braves' worst team in the league. They've lost 9 straight, playing tonight. Giants not doing much better. Just 3 wins. They made it 4 last night in a 7-1 domination. They come here to Olney. You'd be thinking they'd be seething for revenge. And instead, they are now down 8-1. What's going on with the first place team?
You know, long season, nobody's going to be perfect. I mean, everyone, you guys know what a good record is in baseball. You know, let's say they string off, 5 or even 4 of the next games, and you got 4 in a 2 record. It's still very good. It's just, I think, despite the records, the quality, the skill quality in this league is quite tight, and I think stuff's going to even out a little bit more as people get more familiar. But also, I mean, even if that doesn't happen, I think just, ruts happen, and pitchers have bad outings, and hitters get in their head even if they have one at bat. I think, I wouldn't say it's a long-term issue for this team, but, despite it only being kind of like a little less than 2 months, it still is a lot of games, and you're always going to have just little pauses of mistakes within there.
Still Bryce Harder on the dish. Coy Swanson gets things started in the bottom of the 7th. Olney with one heck of a cushion. They lead by 7. It's an 8-1 score. Swanson stands in. Harder kicks, deals, first pitch outside, 1-0. Two balls, no strikes. Fastball skips in the dirt, right in the righty's batter's box. Swanson's going to lefty, Harder, a right-handed pitcher. Matchup favors Olney's right fielder.
Colin, as always, grabbing the balls and hustling back.
2-0 count. Make it 3-0, and Ben, we said Colin, obviously heading to Cooperstown. Congratulations to him. We wish him the best of luck. When you played, did you ever go to Cooperstown?
I did not, actually. Sadly, would have been awesome. I got to go to Cooperstown once with my dad. Great experience, but I never got to play at Cooperstown.
Neither did I. Never played in Cooperstown. Haven't been to Cooperstown, even though I go to school in New York. As the fastball misses in, Coy Swanson draws the 4-pitch walk.
I would say to you and anyone listening, if you haven't done it, you know, you might think it's just going to be, you know, bases and jerseys and stuff, which I think is cool on its own, the memorabilia, but I think they really do a good job. And if you love baseball, there's a clear care for the sport of baseball and a clear love in many different ways, and there's good exhibits. There's always going to be stuff. And after we went to a nice, like, baseball themed like hot dog place, I really would recommend getting there. It's as cool as it seems, if not more so.
Now, I've never been to Cooperstown, but I have been to Canton, Ohio, to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and that was really cool as well. They had Kirk Cousins' jersey from the You Like That game, and me being a big Washington fan, I was happy to see that. They had RG3's jersey from his rookie season. They had a bunch of stuff on display. Obviously, those were two of the less significant items. They were significant to me, rather, because of the team I support. But that was also a great experience. I'm a big football fan at heart.
And that's the beauty of it, you know. It could just be one jersey that to most seems insignificant, but to you, that's, you know, could make your experience seeing that jersey. And I'm sure there'll be something for everyone, as long as you're a fan of, you know, a person.
Unfortunately, I haven't seen a whole lot of Washington players in my lifetime that will likely make the Hall of Fame. Trent Williams probably the only one. 2-0 pitch. Scott swings through. 2-1.
Bobby Wagner, you think he'll get in?
He'll go in as a Seahawk. I think
yeah,
Williams.
Oh, of course.
I think.
Yeah.
I mean, Champ Bailey counts, but he went in as a Bronco. I think Williams will be the only one that goes in as a member of the Washington franchise.
You're confident that he won't go in as a 49er?
Not at all. Unless he wins a Super Bowl there, not at all. And then I've got to say, they might have another wearing number 5 playing quarterback. 2-1 pitch to Scott, chopped right at short, bobbled by Calvin Cook. His first play in the hole. He misplays. Everybody's safe. 2 aboard, nobody out for the Cropdusters. Top of the order, Cade Walter.
Sort of just Olayed that one. Kind of, you know, tried to scoop it with one hand, not using his second hand, and yeah, not how you're gonna make a play.
Now I know you'll like this. They had David Tyree's helmet that he caught the helmet catch on.
That's you know, iconic. As iconic gets in the football sense.
And speaking of New York, he went to Syracuse. Shout out Orange. I'll be back on campus in about 2 months. Right now we're stuck on baseball. First pitch to Cade Walter, 1-0. And for Walter, who came in scorching hot at the plate, he hasn't been gifted a whole lot to hit. He's been drilled by 3 pitches. Lined out, hard line drive, his best swing, right to Jack Ewart at second base. Was 90 miles an hour off the bat, so Walter has made hard contact when he's gotten a pitch to swing at. It's just been limited.
But he'll take it. Getting on base 3 times as a leadoff hitter is exactly what he's supposed to be doing.
1-0 count to Walter. 2-0. Fastball high and out. And a warning just issued to the Cropdusters. Never mind, no warning. Colin comes out with fresh pearls.
Little Beatles action. Although they're not wearing their yellow jerseys today.
You a Beatles fan?
Huge Beatles fan, and you know, I think that's seems like it's like a bad thing to say these days. I don't know.
I'm a Beatles fan.
I'd assume you'd be a Beatles fan. I mean, to be a music fan,
Yeah.
right?
Do you have a favorite Beatles song or a favorite Beatles album?
You know, I think it changes as there's a tough play. Yeah,
In foul
he was never
territory.
catching that.
Foul ball in foul territory. Alex Martin turned to his left, then his right, then did a 180. Did his best ballerina impression, just couldn't catch the ball. Not his best baseball player impression. 2-1.
If a PA announcer was being cruel, that could have been an example to use the classic.
Dusted him.
With the wind dusted him maybe, but I don't know. You know, I mean, of course, you can't go wrong with Revolver, but you know, just the run that the Beatles were on, you can't understate I'll go with you.
If I'm going Son, I think I'll have to go with I Want to Hold Your Hand.
Nice. Very
That's
sweet.
just a classic. Or what's the song of the song off Revolver?
Oh, that was.
I know that's not very descriptive. We'll figure it out. 3-1 count to Walter.
And he's reached base on a free pass the 4th time. How about that?
Here, there, and everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
For the Beatles, Kate Walter draws the walk.
And the pitches tonight for the Senators, especially recently, have been here, there, and everywhere. Not in the zone, though, just kind of all around the plate.
They've been anywhere but here. They've been there and everywhere.
Yeah, seriously.
And they decide to make a pitching change.
Senators are yelling, "Help! They need a pitching change." And that's
They need somebody.
They do. They do.
Who knows how long this game will go?
It's got the quote unquote stealing run on first base with nobody out. Good place to be in. I think everyone would be happy except for maybe the next pitcher who believe that it's only going to be 100% to increase, so it should be someone else. But
if you can, if the Cropdusters do walk away with this lead, whether it's Santiago it'd be hard to mess up whether or not it's Santiago Cruz on the bump or somebody else. You can say the Senators are slipping down the standings just like a yellow submarine sinks into the ocean.
We're getting down there.
How many more of these can we make?
I mean, when you have a catalog like the Beatles have, you can just,
I'm sure tomorrow, yesterday will seem far away for the Senators.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to try to put it behind them. But this is just, it's excellent for the Cropdusters against a good team. And, in front of the home crowd, we talked about how they had some home woes, but they get a good crowd, and it's important for these fans to see a good game. And, it's a pretty young crowd with a lot of, the dogs and stuff, so you get a game like this will have fans coming back. I really do think that.
Oh!
Saw something in that warm-up pitch that you interested in?
Just really slow, 67 miles an hour.
And going with the off-speed.
An interesting approach. Senators just doing anything they can to either get this game over with or try and rally together a miracle. It's Dawson Weatherall on the bump. He's appeared in 5 games. He's got an 0-2 record with an 11.81 ERA.
Does seem like that is a bit inflated. He started the year nicely, 2 scoreless innings, but it's not been the same since.
He allowed 4 earned runs in his last outing just 3 days ago against the Grays. That was a 13-9 loss for the Senators.
Who's already had a nice day. Would love to have the stats up next, but first it's Henson, and who's had a lot of clutch RBI hits, and obviously, clutch is a different word, but, for a lot of these fans and for these players, a chance to go back home might be even nicer than some hits in other situations.
Winning run is on first. It's Cade Walter. First pitch to Henson inside, and then a fastball at 74 miles an hour.
I'm pretty sure. Maybe one of these days, I'll give Noah. I'll slip him a 20, and ask him to do some TrackMan stuff, and I'll get loose and see what But I think I can beat that. Get some RPMs above 2,000 too. But we'll see. 73-mile-an-hour pitch. I mean, wow.
I'm sure you could. You were playing just a few weeks ago.
I hope so.
I haven't pitched a ball since I was 16. That'll be the real question. Noah, we can compile some cash together, 10 apiece. 1-1 count to Will Henson. 73.
Oh, goodness. And that's a fastball. But hey, he's here, and you know, he's got stuff that works, as we saw in the first 2 scoreless outings.
It's definitely not premium unleaded gas. And 71 miles an hour. Jeez Louise, Ben.
It's the ball 3-1, and yeah, I mean, huh.
3-1 count, swing and a miss. Will Henson can't connect on the fastball. We see nothing but them.
I mean, and it's something he's got to adjust to. I mean, no joke. Obviously, you know, it's better to adjust to a 73-mile-an-hour pitch than a 103-mile-an-hour pitch. But man, oh man, it is quite the adjustment having to go down to 73 from, you know, the average 90-ish.
3-2. Ball 4. Walk comes in to score. It's 9-1 Cropdusters. Scott goes to third, Walter to second, Henson to first. Winning run just 180 feet from home plate for the Cropdusters. Olney. In the last 3 innings alone has walked 8 times. Has been hit by 2 pitches and has reached on an error. In those innings, they've scored 8 runs. A chance to make it more for Zakai Hawkins. First pitch, attacking hard. Weak ground ball, bounces off the bag. Hawkins chasing, he's out. Run comes in to score. It's 10-1 Cropdusters, 1 away. Winning run 90 feet away, and Cade Walter.
That would have been something if he was able to beat that out after hitting the base and it getting bobbled.
Man, oh man. Nothing routine tonight for the Senators. They've really fallen apart. Jimmy Kirk a chance to end it here. Winning run on third, infield in for the Senators. 1 out. Mercy rule is 10 runs. Cropdusters lead by 9. Bottom of the 8th, or 7th rather. First pitch, called strike. Kirk didn't like the call. He thought it was outside. Our strike zone says yes. It's 0-1.
He can sit back and just drive one.
That he does. Deep left field. On the run goes Tribble. Just foul.
They claimed that was only Trackman says 315 off the bat. I thought that was more going to be nearing 400.
Just a tad under it was Kirk. 88 off his bat. 0-2 count. Swing and a miss. Jimmy Kirk strikes out on the 73-mile-an-hour fastball. Only the 3rd strikeout of the season for Dawson Weatherald. There's 2 gone.
And the infield was in because the winning run was on third base. All Kirk had to do was hit a fly ball. Now Richie needs a base knocked or potentially a ball in the dirt, and that could end the game as well.
Richie, first pitch, upstairs, called ball, 1-0.
Kirk already 3 RBI in the day to go along with 2 hits and a walk.
Fastball outside the zone, called strike again. A home plate umpire might be trying to speed this game up. If he was really trying to do that, he would let a run come in.
Maybe what, call a balk? What do you want him to do?
1-1, nearly drills Richie in the head. Get this, Ben. Not fastest, slowest pitch we've seen this season. 65 miles an hour.
Yeah, you know, the good thing about one at your head when it's at 65 miles an hour, it gives you ample time to get out of the way of it.
Richie skies it straight back. A meatball right down the middle. Cropdusters not seeing the slow. Two and two gone. Two men on, both in scoring position. Walter on third, Henson on second. Ritchie at the plate. Upstairs, right at his head. 3 and 2. Ritchie, 2 for 3 tonight. And he walks. Second time of the season, or of the night rather. Bases loaded for Austin Stalker.
University, Austin Stalker.
You know, we got a full booth people who choose to be here, yet they are dying for this to get to 10 runs.
And what's even worse, Ben, I see lightning flashing in the distance. God forbid it strikes close. As Stalker lines it deep to right, and this ball game is over. 1 run scores, 2 runs score. Ritchie for good measure, rounding third. He's safe. Cropdusters win this ball game 13-1.
Austin Stalker.
And is it 13-1? Does it? That's a genuine question. Do we know if it ends after the 1 run scored?
It does. I don't know what the official count will be. Austin Stalker, a light celebration, and the first place team in the league has been mercy ruled by the Olney Cropdusters. It's the first time the Senators have fallen victim to a mercy this season. Only the first time they've gotten a mercy rule. They win by a dozen. 4 straight wins for the Cropdusters, a season-high win streak. Spirits have got to be high right now for Olney and Adam Leader.
Excellent win. Doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing, pitching-wise and hitting-wise. And really impressive homestand. I mean, they played a lot of games in a row and just do what they had to do. And everyone except for the continued game. And, you know, sadly, we go back away. But really impressive victory.
Back on the road tomorrow at 6:30. Ben and I will be on the call at Frank Mann Field against the Alexandria Aces. Impressive bats for the Cropdusters, pitching in their job. Senators, they do some soul searching. For the Cropdusters, it seems like they've found some life. 4 straight wins, a chance to make it 5 tomorrow at 6:30. For Ben Gurwitch, I'm Nick King saying so long and good